Hello, and thank you for watching this presentation on career and technical education. CTE is one of the many educational acronyms that exists, and it stands for Career and Technical Education. Throughout this presentation, I hope to provide you with a brief overview of CTE, share some of the resources that are available for CTE programs, and showcase some of the wonderful opportunities that we are able to provide to students within Lewis Palmer School District. CTE is a relatively new acronym in education, but the ideology behind it has been around for well over a decade. Formerly known as vocational education, I imagine that if we were all in the same physical location and could take an informal survey through the showing of hands, several of us in the room have sat in a classroom similar to what is seen on the screen in front of you. The picture on the left is a traditional wood shop, and on the right is what you might find in one of our woodworking or construction classes. In both learning environments, the CTE programs of today or the vocational programs of the past, students engage in relevant educational activities that expose them to skill-based, hands-on learning that have the potential to shape their future aspirations. This is the definition of CTE from the Colorado Community College System, who oversees CTE programming. Specific terms such as quality educational programs, core academic content, post-secondary and workforce readiness, technical skills, and education or employment have been emphasized as they are all central pillars of CTE. Personally, my favorite word on the screen is the word "or", as we are proud to provide opportunities for students with a destination of the workforce as well as college. CTE has been around for over a century and through time has been reinforced with structures to expand from courses that are available in high school to robust programs that are available beginning in the middle school years and expanding beyond high school. Career and technical education programs undergo an initial approval process and then regular renewals in which various elements, known as assurances, are emphasized. I will briefly review these assurances to provide a glimpse of the in-depth operations behind CTE programming. These elements are listed in no particular order and are equally important to fostering a robust CTE program. Access is our commitment to assure that all students are welcome to participate in our CTE programming, with special attention given to those in non-traditional fields. An example of this would be assuring that we have females in our construction and engineering programs and males in our biomedical science program. We recognize that the learning environment is positively impacted by a diverse student population with a variety of perspectives. Advisory committees are intentional relationships with business and industry partners in which we can learn relevant best practices and assure that we are providing educational experiences that will translate to the workforce. Shameless plug, if anyone would like to participate in our CTE advisory committees for your industry, please contact me directly. Articulation is a set of agreements that we have with institutions of higher education for students to earn college credit through the completion of eligible courses. For example, many of our engineering courses are articulated with the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs for students to earn college credit through their dual enrollment program. Credentials refers to additional licensure certifications that teachers need to have in order to teach CTE courses. For most pathways, this includes both educational and occupational experience in the field. CTSO is another educational acronym which stands for Career Technical Student Organization and is an element of the pathway that students can opt into for leadership opportunities that are embedded within the classroom. An example of CTSOs within Lewis Palmer School District include HOSA, DECA, and FBLA. Facilities and safety are program-specific criteria that are in place to assure that the classroom spaces that are utilized by each program are safe and optimally functional. A program of study is intentional course sequencing that continuously builds upon previously learned content and expands the learning as the student progresses through the pathway with opportunities that exist beyond high school. And work-based learning addresses the delivery of sustained, meaningful interactions with industry or community professionals that foster in-depth, first-hand engagement with the tasks required in a given career field. Experiences may be delivered in workplaces, in the community, at educational institutions, and/or virtually as appropriate, and include a variety of activities such as workplace tours, job shadowing, school-based enterprises, internships, and apprenticeships. The shameless plug that was mentioned to elicit advisory interest applies here as well. If anyone is interested in sponsoring work-based learning opportunities at their place of employment, please reach out to me. Once all of the assurances are in order, we are able to apply for two distinct funding streams that are available to prop up our programming. CTA stands for Career and Technical Act, is a state resource in which we are able to apply for reimbursement of certain CTE-related expenses, and Perkins is a federal grant that is intended to support the pursuit of new, relevant elements of programming as supported by industry. Not necessarily connected solely to CTE, but a funding source that has been useful in sustaining our programming is that of the Career Development Incentive Program, or CDIP, that will reimburse school districts for student attainment of an approved industry certification, of which several of our programs are in alignment with. This slide displays the CTA reimbursement over the past 6 years, which illustrates its change over time. The submission, which is due in September of each year, includes all programmatic expenses, including supplies, equipment, and teacher cost. Programs that are found to have spent more per student than 70% of the per pupil revenue from the state are then eligible for reimbursement. The decrease in reimbursement for the 2022-2023 school year is a result of several of our programs not meeting the necessary threshold and therefore not qualifying for reimbursement. These funds are then regenerated into the program for further sustainability. This slide displays the CTA reimbursement in a bar graph. The financial support that projects receive through Perkins over the past 6 years is on the screen in front of you now. Some examples of items that we have been able to purchase include a CNC router for the engineering program, Oculus virtual reality for our information technology program, and equipment to run MoCo Apparel, a school-based enterprise out of the Palmer Ridge Business Program. Here are our Perkins Awards in a bar graph. With the various funding streams that are being utilized to sustain our CTE programming, this slide illustrates the various sources and how they contribute to the total amount. Colorado is divided into several economic and geographic regions which largely inform the CTE programming that will be approved in the school systems. As the CTE coordinator, I must demonstrate that our programming feeds into local occupations that are high skill, high demand, and high wage. Given the Colorado career clusters and the talent pipeline findings, our region has the greatest need in the areas in which are accentuated with a yellow star. Within these 4 clusters, our region has identified that the top 5 occupations in our area are healthcare, skilled trades, manufacturing, business, and cybersecurity. Given what was learned on the previous slide, here's how that translates to the programming we are offering within Lewis-Palmer School District. You will see that both high schools offer business and marketing and programs within the STEM pathway. Lewis-Palmer Middle School and Lewis-Palmer High School offer biomedical sciences, and both construction programming and digital media and communications are accessible at each of our secondary sites. We will talk more specifically about these in the subsequent slides. The combined exploratory program at the middle school is rich in opportunities for students to engage with learning experiences in skilled trades, computer-aided drafting, biomedical sciences, and multimedia arts. From learning how to take and edit photos, to measuring vital signs, to designing and constructing creations using power tools, students in the middle school program are exposed to many facets of CTE. The engineering programs at both high schools utilize the Project Lead the Way curriculum, where they explore a broad range of engineering topics, applying math, science, and engineering standards to hands-on learning. A common sentiment within these programs is that we make stuff to break stuff, meaning that they engineer bridges and boats with architectural principles and then apply complicating factors such as wind, water, or weight until it actually breaks. They then study where the break occurred to better understand how the design could be improved upon to add stability and strength. The image in the top center was previously secured through Perkins funding and can garner wind speeds of up to 145 miles per hour. Students from both Lewis-Palmer and Palmer Ridge have the opportunity to learn general principles and techniques for effectively communicating ideas and information and packaging products in digital and other formats to business and consumer audiences through the multimedia programming available to them. Through in-depth experience in the Adobe Acrobat Creative Cloud, they work, learn, collaborate, connect, and create. The multimedia programs also include student broadcasts for each of their respective high schools through the utilization of state-of-the-art technology. Information technology programming exists at both high schools as well and provides students with the opportunity to learn a variety of programming languages, including Java, Snap, Python, and HTML. Students expand upon their learning by creating their own websites and developing web-based games through applied coding principles. In addition to coding, Palmer Ridge offers a cybersecurity program where students from Lewis Palmer can also attend, where students are exposed to a variety of cybersecurity environments and virtual labs. Through the Project Lead the Way curriculum, students in cybersecurity establish an ethical code of conduct while learning to defend data in today's complex cyber world. The business and marketing pathways at both high schools teach employability skills needed for careers in accounting, finance, and/or marketing. They're taught basic accounting procedures, financial literacy, marketing, management, and entrepreneurship concepts. Students in the management and entrepreneurship course complete a thorough business plan project in which they design their own retail or service company. We've had numerous state and national qualifiers in both DECA and FBLA this year and in years past. Our Biomedical Sciences program at Lewis Palmer High School allows for students to explore the vast possibilities that the medical sciences can bring. Their knowledge expands from learning about the human body systems and how they work together in the first year to analyzing a simulated crime scene complete with fingerprints and pathology. Students within the Biomedical Sciences program participate in HOSA, which stands for Health Occupation Students of America, have run successful fundraising campaigns for causes such as cystic fibrosis, and have placed in the top 10 in several of the competitions held nationally in events such as pharmacology, medical reading, epidemiology, and public service. Construction programming at both high schools is facilitated through a partnership with the Home Builders Association and Careers in Construction Colorado. Students benefit from access to the Home Builders Institute curriculum and several additional resources that are provided through this partnership. In these classes, students learn building trades and safety, construction methodology, tools, and construction materials in preparation for the workforce. Throughout the years, with the additions and enhancements surrounding CTE in Lewis Palmer School District, the numbers of students we have served has increased as well, as you can see with this particular graph. The dip in the data that is seen in the 2019-2020 school year is a result of legislative changes that modified how students were calculated and is not necessarily an indication of declining enrollment. Similarly, the change in distribution in the 2021-2022 school year is a result of programmatic changes at the middle school to more closely align with pathways, whereas previously they were combined inside of the engineering enrollments. You will see proportionately which programs serve more students and the gender breakdown found within each offering. This data is typically captured after the school year concludes, so we will certainly update these graphs as the information becomes available to us. There are several factors that determine our CTE capacity, including our staffing, interest, and space. The reality of student interest exceeding our program offerings is not unfamiliar to us, and we are proud to partner with area organizations to provide robust CTE offerings beyond our scope. Current 11th and 12th graders have the opportunity to apply to participate in instruction at the International Salon and Spa Academy or through one of the Career Start programs through Pikes Peak State College listed on the screen. Students who are accepted into either of these programs are provided with transportation through Lewis Palmer School District and spend approximately 75% of each school day learning at these campuses and then return to our high schools for the last period of the day. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation. On the screen in front of you now is my contact information as well as some helpful links to additional resources. If you have any questions or if you would like to reach out with any one of my shameless plugs, either to join an advisory committee or to offer a work-based learning opportunity at your place of employment, please reach out. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much and have a great day.